Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Super Bowl simulation special here on my YouTube channel. I am your host, Matt. And as soon as this game gets loaded up, we are going to do some simulations for the Eagles and the Chiefs. As you guys know, for the 7 people that follow my channel here, everybody besides my family members. But I do appreciate everyone who does jump in here from time to time. We are ready to do simulations. Now, as you know, simulations here in Madden are not real life. Absolutely not. Okay, so the Eagles are actually the home team for the playoffs here, or for the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs. Okay. We'll control the Chiefs. Wait a second. We're going to throw it short. We're going to defend the outside run. Okay, it is the Super Bowl. Okay. All right, so if you watched my previous videos, and as I said, I'm still getting ready to broadcast or to record my thoughts on the AFC Championship game. Expect that video up tomorrow, but I wanted to go ahead and do the simulations tonight. Or at least one of them. I probably will do a couple of these, because they are somewhat entertaining. At least I find them entertaining. If you find them entertaining, we'll see. Right now I already have my Excel file all set up and ready to go. Just got to record the information. I have it set up just like I did the AFC game, or the AFC and NFC Championship game. I have it set up to do 15 simulations. And skip all this stuff. Okay, so, and we're going to go ahead and obviously sim to the end of the game. I'm going to do, obviously, my official picks next week. I still want to have more time to kind of evaluate what this game is going to be. And I think that, I do think it's a little silly that the Eagles are favored in this game. I think the Chiefs have shown that they are the class of the NFL. And in a year that, I'm not going to say a rebuilding year for the Chiefs, but a year where Kansas City was supposed to take a step backwards when the rest of the AFC was to take a step up. This was supposed to be the Bills year from all the media and everybody who talked about the Bills. And the Chiefs got the 1 seed and they're in the Super Bowl. And I don't think, it does seem like the narrative surrounding even Josh Allen is that Josh Allen took a step backwards this year. And Patrick Mahomes was supposed to take a step back, without his number 1 target, Tyreek Hill. And as you saw, Tyreek Hill had an amazing season down in Miami, and I believe he's a finalist for Offensive Player of the Year, as he should be. He had a tremendous season. But the Dolphins only went 9-8 and were the 7th seed in the playoffs for a reason. And even though they still almost won their first round game against the Bills, they had a lot of problems this year. So I think that one of the things that is definitely going to hurt the, not hurt, but help the Chiefs going forward is the fact that they have maybe the most cerebral quarterback, in the NFL. Josh Allen may have a stronger arm. I'm thinking, there's like in the pocket, Kyler Murray might be more elusive. Joe Burrow might. Well, no, probably not. I was going to say more, more intelligent, but no, I don't think anyone's smarter than Mahomes. There's quarterbacks that are faster. There's some that maybe a tad more accurate. There might be some that are, they have the stronger arm. But no one has the better brain. No one is more cerebral than Patrick Mahomes. And one of the things that he almost approaches the game like he has, like a photographic memory, and it's like his ability to know where things are going to be, and where, and just his recall ability. I mean, he knows the defense better than the defense knows the defense, which is incredible. So, we'll keep talking. I'll keep talking about the Eagles here in a second. So this first matchup here, obviously, the Chiefs get the win, 27-3 here in the first game. I am going to record the stats. Oh wait, I want the team stats. It's just easier to see on this page. Okay, so the Chiefs, Mahomes passed for 355 yards, and the Chiefs had 56 yards rushing. Eagles had 209 through the air, and then 82 on the ground. Okay. Now the Eagles defense has been tremendous this year. Now, this isn't college football. You don't make your own schedule. But I do think the Eagles at 14-3, I think it's more of a watered down 14-3 than the Chiefs 14-3 is. The Eagles have not faced the battle test. They've not battle tested like Kansas City is. I definitely think that the Chiefs have an advantage. When they have the ball, and Philadelphia is talented. Let's not take that away from them. So they win the simulation 23-14. I think that Philadelphia is incredibly talented, and they've got some really good players on the defensive side of the football. The question, though, is can their quarterback make enough plays? And one of the things that I saw about Jalen Hurts, from a rushing standpoint, was that typically when you see quarterbacks that run the ball, their yards per carry is very, very high. Jalen Hurts, he averages 4.2 yards a carry, which, if that's your average every time you run the ball, I mean, you're averaging getting a first down once every 3 times you carry the ball, which is good. I mean, 4.2 is not. That's a good yards per carry. I mean, any running back would take that number. And I did record the numbers there for this second game here. But for a quarterback, you would expect it to be a little higher. So, he has more rushing attempts to get to that total yards standpoint than the typical quarterback does. So he's taking more hits. And I think that's what you saw down the stretch there when he injured his shoulder. And in the playoffs, he did not appear to be throwing the ball with any type of authority. And I think Kansas City can take advantage of that. Look, he's not faced the defenses. He's not faced a front line like Kansas City has in terms of with Chris Jones, with Frank Clark, and then even some of the the ancillary players for Kansas City who fill in the gaps when Clark or especially when Chris Jones is being double teamed and whatnot. So now, just because you beat people that are not very good doesn't mean that you're a bad football team. And so, hold on. So let me write this down. So the Chiefs get a 38-31 win here. So I'm not going to take anything away from Philadelphia, but I think that the desire by the media to see somebody else win besides Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, I think that bias has leaked into some of these predictions. And the thing that I just don't when I say I don't put a lot of stock into it, but it drives me crazy that the media is. There's this perception that Mahomes isn't going to be 100%, and that the Eagles are, the defense is going to really go get after him. And I mean, that could be the case, but they're making this claim that the Eagles, their defense is better against Patrick Mahomes, who's the best player in football, and that it's really going to show because of his injury to his ankle. But yet the Chiefs, on the other side of the football, the Chiefs defense doesn't have any advantage over a quarterback who has an injury to his throwing shoulder. And it's clear that Jalen Hurts has not looked himself throwing the football in these, in these first two games. Now, he hasn't had to look that great. Sorry, because the Eagles get the win here 38-31 or 38-24. Jalen Hurts hasn't had to, do a whole lot because they faced a pretty poor football team in the Giants. And I know a lot of people are giving the Giants a lot of credit. Of course, I did pick them to win their first round matchup against the Vikings. But, they were outclassed by the Eagles, and the Eagles just blew them out of the water. Their defense just dominated Daniel Jones. And then the Eagles got a layup. Now, I think that I did pick the Eagles to beat the 49ers straight up. That being said, I thought it was going to be a really close game. I did not. If I'd have known that they weren't going to have a quarterback, definitely I would have picked the Eagles in the blowout like they did. That's the thing with they didn't have to play a game, the NFC Championship game. They got a layup. It was kind of embarrassing the way that went. The 49ers couldn't pass the football. They couldn't do anything because their quarterback was so limited in the game. When I say their quarterback was limited, when Brock Purdy came back in the game, he only came back in to hand the ball off. And it's just ridiculous. They couldn't pass, and the Eagles just loaded up and they stopped everything. So I think too many people are giving the Eagles way too much credit for those two wins, and there's not enough credit being given to the Chiefs for beating two really good football teams in the playoffs. I mean, there's all this talk about how how the 49ers were on such a big win streak and how the Bengals were on such a big win streak. But when the Chiefs go out and beat the Jaguars, who were also on a big win streak or had won 8 of 9 games, and then they beat the Bengals, who had won 11 or 12 in a row, no one's talking about it. No one's talking about the Chiefs getting battle-hardened wins. I mean, the Chiefs went out and they had to play gutsy football in these games to win. All right, so the Chiefs win game number 5 here. Wow, the Eagles passed for 411 yards in this game and still lost. That's something I'm not going to predict. I don't see Jalen Hurts throwing for 411 yards, to be honest with you. I haven't really followed the flow of these games. I've just been talking most of the time. But the Chiefs have won 3 of the 5 games so far. So let's see what happens here. Okay, Chiefs take the lead. Chiefs up 10. I think the Chiefs' defense is good enough to shut down the Eagles' offense, especially a team that only runs, is heavily dependent upon running the football. If Jalen Hurts is still feeling the ill effects of his injury, the Chiefs' secondary, they're all a lot is made about their secondary being young and playing 3 rookies. Well, those 3 rookies shut down the best receiving trio in the National Football League this past weekend. So, I mean, they're not going to face better wide receivers in this game, and they're not going to face as good of a quarterback. That's what I understand. Everybody was picking the Bengals to beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs go out and beat the Bengals, and now it's like, well, we're going to pick the Eagles to beat the Chiefs. When the consensus was that the Bengals were going to go all the way and win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, do the Chiefs not get credit for beating, the media darling and the Bengals? Oh my goodness. How did they not get a field goal there at the end to tie the game? I want to do we have the I guess it doesn't have the game logs in there. I mean, the Chiefs had the ball down there at the 2-yard line at the end of the game, and it was like nothing happened. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe Butker missed a 25-yard field goal. It's entirely possible. Okay, so the Eagles have gone up 4-3 on the simulations here. Let's see. Is there any highlights? Oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, this is how the game ended. The game ended. All right, kickoff for a touchback. Then Mahomes was okay. So on the 35, they passed. They passed it. They got it down to the 20-yard line, and then that was the last play of the game. You can't. I mean, that play would have taken 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds in game time, so the Chiefs couldn't get up and spike the ball and kick a field goal. That's crazy. That's crazy that the last play of the Super Bowl ended like that. oh, there's no replay. Yeah, because it didn't. We didn't actually see it. That's bizarre. See, this is one of the reasons why you can't take these games too super seriously, just because of stuff like that. I mean, we obviously don't know. He didn't miss a field goal. They didn't, because if he had missed it, it would have been recorded there. So I do think that's kind of weird. So the Chiefs were up 28-0 at halftime, and the Eagles almost came back and won this game. All right, so let's check out the team stats here. Mahomes and company only threw for 276, and they rushed for 57. So really, the Eagles' defense really shut them down in the second half, but they just couldn't overcome that deficit. They'll probably be just like the Bills were in 2000 and say they ran out of time. If we could have played one more quarter, we would have won the game. It was the same reason. That was the same rationale that KU fans gave to Mizzou after KU lost to Missouri in 2007. All right, so coming down to the wire here. Oh, wow. Oh, they did kick a field goal. Wow, I didn't see that happening. Okay. All right. All right, so Mahomes 297, and then the Chiefs had 80 yards. Boy, the Madden sure does like Jalen Hurts in this game. He is passing for a ton of yards. All right, game number 10. Let's see what happens in this one. It's been pretty even so far. I mean, kind of gone back and forth. Oh, wow. Touchdown at the end of the game for the Chiefs. Mahomes leads a game-winning touchdown drive. Okay, so what do we got here? Mahomes at 328, and then the team rushed for 51 yards. Hurts 257 through the air, and then they rushed for 131. Okay. I think what we're seeing most through here is, the Eagles definitely can win this football game, but the Chiefs there's more consistency with the Chiefs here. But the total scores, I mean, the total points scored here so far is pretty close, 269 to 252 in favor of the Chiefs. Yeah, so this one was not as close. This one, obviously, the Eagles got a touchdown at the end there to make it look a little closer than it was, but it was 38-20 going into the fourth quarter. All right, so a little more consistency here. But I'll tell you one thing, the Chiefs are not rushing for a ton of yards. I'm surprised the Eagles, their totals here, they've only eclipsed 100 yards rushing 3 times so far and through 11 games. I might end up going to 20 games just because we have extra time since we're only doing this once. All right, let's go ahead and go to the end of this game. This is game number 12. All right, this one's a good back and forth game. Oh, the Chiefs defense held there. The Eagles couldn't get anything going there. They're on their last drive, so 35-31. So the Chiefs have won 5 in a row now in this simulation. Okay, team stats. Let's see what we got here. 347. So the Chiefs were outpassed and outrushed again. 398 and then 90. I don't see Jalen Hurts throwing for that many yards. Maybe he does. Maybe I'm missing something. But again, this is a video game, and the video game doesn't simulate, his shoulder injury. Of course, it doesn't simulate Mahomes' ankle injury either. But so I guess it all comes out in the wash in the end. Yeah, this game is a blowout. This game was not as close. I mean, the Chiefs win by 18, and it wasn't even that close. They had a 38-3 lead at one point. So if this is the way that the game goes like this, Skip Bayless will come on his show the next day and say that Hurts outplayed Mahomes. But that's his shtick. That's what he does. Okay, so it is getting a little more one-sided here. Eagles haven't won one of these simulations in a little bit. All right, let's go to the end of the game here. I do think the Chiefs' defense is underrated. I'm not going to say the Eagles' defense is overrated. I think they're phenomenal. (31-12). This would, boy, if that happened, that would be a stress-free time for me watching the game. If the Chiefs were to get a win like that. Okay. Yeah, so it's really getting a little one-sided here. Now in Madden here, the Eagles are, from an overall standpoint, are rated 1 point higher than the Chiefs. They're rated 92 overall. The Chiefs are rated 91 overall. At least from the main menu standpoint. Obviously, if you're playing a franchise, it's going to be different, but of course, if you're playing a franchise, you could be editing players and changing their ratings. I think the Chiefs won in overtime here. Yep, 31-28. I'm trying to think, has a Super Bowl ever gone to overtime? I don't know if that has ever happened. I'll have to look that up. All right, so 3:15 for whoops. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Undo. 315 for Mahomes, 99 yards of rushing. Hurts with 387 and 124. So they had a really dominant. They had over 500 yards of total offense. The Eagles did, but they still could not win this game. Yeah, a big fourth quarter comeback to tie the game. Okay, I think I'm going to... Oops. Okay. I am going to add... Where's my cursor? There it is. Okay. Change my calculations to out of 20 games instead of out of 15. Wait a second. That's not right. Oh, no. It is. Sorry. I'm sitting here second guessing myself. Okay, that's going to go down through cell 23. Hang on one second. We'll get back to going here. Cell 23. Okay. Now let's get this other formula down. Okay, we have 5 more to go. Now I got my spreadsheet back up, set up to go down to 20 games. Kind of want to give the Eagles a little more chances to get some wins here. That's been really one-sided since Game 7. And not that I'm cheering for my prediction here or anything. I mean, this is a video game. So the Chiefs are down 16-0. Wait, what happened there? Okay, I'm confused on how this game ended there. All right, so the Chiefs. Oh. Okay, never mind. Okay, 28-26. Chiefs get the win. Mahomes 340 yards through the air. They had 63 team rushing yards. Hurts 341 through the air and 114 yards on the ground for the Eagles. But they still cannot overcome the Chiefs. It has been a really good year. So on my predictions, I put on my predictions that I had the Bills beating the Eagles, or Bills beating the Bengals. And then when I went to my Twitter account, I had saved it. I had pinned a message back from January 8th to my Twitter feed where I predicted the AFC playoffs exactly right, and I had the Bengals beating the Bills. So I kind of want to change my official predictions to say that I actually got that, because I did call that way back when. But you know, and I was really I was really sweating it, trying to pick between the Bills and the Bengals. So this one's 21-10 or 27-10. So not another contest, not really that close. I'll tell you one thing: I'll never pick the Bills again. All right, let's restart this. We got 3 more games to go, and it's really getting one-sided here. Let's jump forward. End of game. All right, so the Eagles got a lead here to start off, 13-0. Is this the game that they dominate? Looks like it. All right, they actually get a dominating victory, 41-21. Okay. So Mahomes passed for 401 yards, but they could not capitalize on it. 261 for Hurts. Oh, nope, 261, not 262. 142 on the ground. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and restart. We have 2 games to go. Well, these last 2 games have definitely not gone the Chiefs' favor. Maybe I should have stopped after 15. Yeah, these games are gonna wreck my they're gonna wreck the numbers here. But we got to record them regardless. I don't see this result happening at all. I don't see the Eagles blowing out the Chiefs like this. Patrick Mahomes is just too good of a player to lose a game to the Eagles, 41-13. But like I said, you play a game a million times, or like I'm doing 20 times, you're going to get some blowouts. The Chiefs had a couple blowouts. Of course, the Eagles, if there's any Eagles fans watching this, they're probably saying, well, the Chiefs aren't going to ever blow out the Eagles. Well, you're right, they might not. Oh, wow. I almost want to give that win to the Chiefs. That was Madden. That was Madden stupidity there. Just not knowing how to manage the clock. So, yeah, the last 3 games all went to the Eagles after the Chiefs ran off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After the Chiefs ran off 10 in a row, then the Eagles get the last 3. And here I was just trying to give the Eagles a chance, make it a little more fair, and they ended up winning 3 of the last 5, including the last 3. Okay, so what this ended up being, it ended up being let's see, let's count up the Chiefs wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the Chiefs won 13 of 20. Chiefs won 13. The Eagles won 7. Average margin of victory. So Chiefs 28.25 to 25. So the Chiefs 3.5, or a little over, just 3. The Chiefs were 3 points better, 28 to 25. Mahomes averaged 330 yards through the air. Chiefs averaged 74 on the ground. Jalen Hurts averaged 310 through the air, and as a team, they averaged 96 on the ground. So the Eagles' offense actually averaged more per game than the Chiefs' offense from a total standpoint, but the Chiefs won 6 more games. 13-7. Chiefs were the victors here in this really crazy battle. Look at that fourth quarter there. 15-17. That's silliness. That is silliness. So, all right. Well, thank you to all the people, which means nobody, because nobody watched this. But if you do watch this on the replay, I do appreciate you watching. Feel free to give me a like and a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this video. And if you think my thoughts are crazy about the Chiefs and the Eagles, go ahead and just rip me a new one down in the comments. You'll help the algorithm by doing that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next week with more Super Bowl preview videos of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.